And I am excited that this is a great day. Number one, this is definitely a day that I have never seen before in my entire life, and I'm sure that you are feeling or experiencing the same thing. So I hope by the time you reach this morning, this afternoon, midnight, whatever time that this video reaches you, I hope that it definitely blesses you and give you some encouragement. This is my Thursday thought for today. First of all, if you can subscribe and just kind of share the word to somebody instantly and send it to some people that you think that would be a great blessing to, I would really appreciate that. It'll let you know that the words and my instructions from the people who are surrounding me that God has sent my way to support me is these things are working. I'm trying my best to implement the help and the support and all the different suggestions that I'm getting to really allow these Thursday thoughts to be very, very applicable and very inspiring before your weekend, before you're around other people, before a lot of us are off of work or we're not working online from home and just, going about our day. But I'm definitely excited about this topic here I was just thinking over the days that all apologies that we make as people are not necessary. And what do I mean by it? And then also, don't own the rights to everything that we are allowing these apologies or allowing people's statements and things like that to be something that we need to own. So what I mean by that? All apologies, everything that we feel like we need to apologize for, it is definitely just not necessary to apologize for everything. First of all, what is an apology? An apology is a statement. It's a statement that one is sorry for doing something wrong or being at fault. Now, this comes from the Webster Dictionary. I had pulled one of my dictionaries out off the shelf behind me, and I had to kind of just like, let's just go back to what an apology is. An apology is a statement that one is sorry. And in other words, they have a sorrowful disposition. They feel sorrowful in their heart to do it. So they're sorry for doing something, some kind of thing that was offensive to the other person. Sorrowful or wrong or being at fault. So in other words, you know how we start saying over the years, you know what, that's my fault. I take fault in that. Or I'm sorry for doing it, so I apologize. Now, here's the deal. When we say the word I apologize, that is not an apology. And that nothing get on my personal peeve, and I'm sure some of you guys who may share this thing, is when somebody say, hey, you know what? That was something that I created. That's something that I find fault in, that I offended you with. Or I'm something that I'm wrong on because I can tell by your mannerism, I can tell by my offense to you, I can read, or I can gather the communication that I'm receiving from you, that this caused some type of offense to you. And because of that, I owe you an apology. So please forgive me for bringing some type of fault or wronging you or something that has disturbed you for taking this mistake that I've given you to a different place for you. So that's a full apology. But there are some apologies that are not necessary. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of us apologize for things that we should not take and own them. If you decide to be different and others want you to be like them because they feel like you have been a great role model for them, but you decide to be unique and to say, hey, I'm going to make a stand for myself. I see things differently. Please don't be apologetic about that and say, I'm sorry for doing this to you, or I'm sorry for disturbing my opinion, but you asked me about my opinion. You did inquire to give my take on it. Those are the type of things that I want to concentrate on today's thoughts, because I find it wrong for us to take on more responsibilities and owning things that we should not own. We're carrying things that we should even be responsible for because others have projected their opinions or projected things on us, and it's not even necessary. It's not necessary to apologize for everything. All apologies are not necessary to do. It is just not. It's not. Some people want you to apologize for being great just because you decide to take some time out and you decide to do some things differently and they didn't. Or you thought of something first and they didn't think of it first. So now we feel like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust your bubble. We need to stop saying, I'm sorry about something because you came in before the other person. Because first of all, if we take some time to stop apologizing or comparing ourselves, then we realize that we are just two uniquely different people doing great things. There's enough of our ideas to spread amongst a lot of people that will bring our greatness in the earth while we have this time to live. First of all, life is very, very short. So while we have this short amount of time to do great things, then why are we apologizing for being uniquely different when we were created to be uniquely different? That's why we have different names. I found out for myself, and a lot of this things that I'm talking about is that because I play drums. Okay, I'll give you a great example. One of the things that I do that many people don't know is that one of my favorite things as a child is that I had learned how to play drums by ear. I played a lot of music. Actually, it was a lot of music that was played for me. And then my mom taught me how to use the old school entertainment system. I think I'm kind of giving my age away here. The old school entertainment system that went the long way. That had a turntable on the left side, had an 8-track in the middle, and you can store your albums and your 45s and your 8-track tapes underneath the console. And it was in this big, huge cabinet that had speakers in the bottom that had a lid at the top. Oh my God, I'm so graphic with this. That you could lift up the whole lid and you had the option of what kind of entertainment do you want to play. Now look, if some of you guys are on here, say, hey man, that's my life, or I can relate, all right? Text it to me or write it in the screen there. I'm having a ball with this because I remember that my mom was like, listen, I'm going to play some Barry White for you. You need to understand this guy. James Brown was not the only guy that wore his hair in a process perm because I come from a hair, beauty and barber family. So we did a lot of hair, hands-on things. And so she said, this guy right here with this album, you want to listen to all his music. I need you to identify all these different elements that he plays. So he plays music. And so by me learning music and the way I see it and the way I view it and my point of view, I know that I was going to hear it differently. Although I need to learn the chemistry, I need to learn the formula of how it's done. So by the time I come into a band of people or orchestrated setting to see how somebody else may lead it, it's for me to look at it different. But I'm not going to apologize for how I learn it. And what we do is we feel like if I apologize to something or apologize to people, then I'm going to be accepted or that's going to make me look humble. And we don't have to do that. That is not necessary. So all apologies for having a different appetite from everybody else who wants to eat whatever they want to eat. But hey, I'm thinking about my weight. I want to live. You don't have to make any apologies for being different. Don't even own what the masses are saying. There's some people who go, they have a lot of conspiracies. Well, this is what the federal is, and this is what the world is. Well, a lot of us, we have no choice. We were born into these conspiracies and things like this. Now, the theories and buying into it, that's a choice. We don't even have to apologize for saying, hey, I see it differently. I have a different point of view. That's what makes you uniquely different. Come on now. Come on, people. So when it comes to all the apologies that we do, sometimes we don't even realize. We say, oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But the reality is we're not really sorry about that. We feel like that's the right thing to do so we can kind of suffocate or kind of depress the moment because of where it feels awkward. Because we make the other person feel comfortable about our uniqueness. And we have to be very, very careful about that. I wrote down a couple tips about this very, very quickly. So how do you know if you've been giving apologies more than what is even warranted? Giving these unnecessary apologies, But let me just give you some examples. Don't feel the need to cater to people or to do extra things to them. And because this is our way to apologize because we see something different or we don't want to do it that way. Don't apologize for that. When you're trying to do this type of behavior, you also have to know when you're being responsible and know when you're not have to be responsible for certain things. You don't have to be responsible for saying, well, the reason why you acting like this is because I'm doing this to you, or the only reason why you're getting this result is because of what you did to me. Or this is what we do in our family. But if you chose to say, hey, as a result of these things that's been happening in our family, I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't make any apologies about wanting to participate in something that is going nowhere. It's pointless. And you have to come to a point of boldness. You have to come to a point of identity, because that's what it does. It puts you into this place called identity, that I can identify with being different because I don't subscribe to what's been regular. All right. So you have to be able to say, you know what? I just can't apologize for everything that's going on because you feel different or it makes you feel awkward. So those type of people that you're around, it's going to really, really make you very, very isolated, or make you very, very different. But they're going to call you indifferent. They're going to interpret it and say that you've been indifferent about it because you don't agree with me. And be okay with that. just simply okay with that. All right. But don't own somebody else's point of view and their opinions that's been projected on you. And then you feel the need to apologize for being uniquely different. That's my whole point of this whole Thursday thought. So remember now, when you give apologies only means it's a statement that one is sorry for doing something wrong or being at fault. So you have to do your homework with this. If you're not at fault for something that has happened and the results come to you and you're dealing with the outcomes of something, you have to ask yourself and be like, well, I'm not part of that, so I'm not going to take fault in that. I don't own that because I wasn't even part of the equation. I wasn't even considered. And I'm okay with this part that I wasn't considered because I wouldn't want to be part of that mayhem or the malice or something that was very malicious or something that was very, very not thoroughly thought out of, because I'm more of a structural person. And I may not do very well with bad disorganization. I like organization. So if I don't come, if I don't respond, if I don't call you back, I don't make any apology for that. Now, if you want to ask me, will I be there? I could tell you. Well, this is my take on it. My take on it is because of this, whatever those reasons are, I can't be a part of those things. I'm sorry. That's where we make the mistake. We don't have to say I'm sorry about that. We could just say, hey, these are my reasons, and that's my take on it. But I have no problem with if you issue out a different invite, I would definitely consider it because I'm interested in your growth. That's it. And we have to be able to walk in that type of discipline. All right. Here's some other little tips here. You know, usually when you're challenged by others with this type of outcome, or when others want to make you responsible and make you feel like you need to apologize for something, is when you deciding to stop thinking so small. Okay. If you say, hey, my goals, now I'm around people who wants me to be the best, want me to be the best person I've ever been. Now, when it comes to my uniqueness, you're going to learn some things about me that I didn't even think that I was going to even have the appetite for. And because of that, I'm going to walk into a different level of greatness. So if you can allow me to be uniquely different in front of you, I'm going to do the same exchange for you. Now you have some amazing wealth exchange going on, ladies and gentlemen, that has nothing to do with financial. Okay. It has nothing to do with bartering. Okay, you do this, you do this, I can exchange this for this and things like that. No, it has a lot to do with this is where I am in my life. This is the point that I came into. And I make no apologies for saying, hey, you go ahead and you just take all of your children, okay, and you babysit them because you say you love them, right? Yeah, I love my children. Great. If you love them so much, I need for you to spend all of the time with them because I'm going to take a break off for me. And I don't make any apologies for making sure that I'm able to be in a healthy place. Because if you want me to be able to cater to you, then I need to make sure that I spend a lot of time rejuvenizing myself. All right. So others usually want to challenge you. You know, when you decide not to think small no more, when you decide to read books to empower yourself, when you decide to watch a lot of videos to make sure that you are on a nice frequency. Okay, when you have a nice momentum going on, when you have your adrenaline going on, you know, when you have your motivation is kicking in, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you're able to say, all right, let's go ahead and do this thing. When you open yourselves up to other people who are visualizers. In other words, when you allow yourself to be like, you know, let me go out and just kind of socialize because I don't want to be the only person in the house because I'm stuck in the house. Some of us, we're not stuck in the house. We just have became conditioned because of the pandemic, and I get it. But as you do small steps out of trusting, out of not walking in fear, you know, or not of walking in timidity and feeling like, oh, you know, but you're invited to trusted circles that, specialize, or they really, really have the mindset to be, health conscious, I should say, then, hey, I want to be around some other people that think smart, because my next set of moves need to be very strategic. I want to be around those type of people. And don't make apologies for making those decisions, because some people, they just want to see you small and common. They want you to be always readily available. They want you to always be ready by the phone. And then they would try to come at you and say, well, you are always busy. Well, if I spend 3 or 4 hours talking with you, one of my mentors told me this years ago. They said that if you start to talk to somebody who got things going on and you're able to get on their schedule, that's amazing, because you've been pushing each other to do great things, which means you may not always be readily available to be on the phone for any length of time. Hey, I need to catch you because you're doing some great stuff. Maybe I can get on your calendar to join what you're doing in the community. Great. Hey, I'm on some business calls. I got some seminar things going on. Can I join your virtual calls or join your meetings? Because I want to be part of whatever you're part of. Great. But if you want some personal time outside of that, and people want to make you feel guilty because you're doing those great things, that's not a still lasting association that you want to really give your time or allow somebody. Here's what I mean by owning their rights. Owning how they view you because you didn't have time to give them because they're not doing anything. I'm saying this by a lot of bought experiences, because I used to be around a lot of people. I could understand if I'm busy and they don't understand. But if they understand and they start complaining or using it against you, I have to start ignoring that, because if that's the case, I will always cater to that. I will always feel like I have to apologize for the things that I say, God help me with. Okay, give me the courage to do. Give me the faith for that, because that's bigger than what I even have for. In fact, I don't even have the finances to even support it. So now that you're giving me meetings to meet people that have the funding, or giving me phone calls and different people I need to speak to so I can make that thing happen. Okay, so that means what? I'm going to lose some people. I'm going to lose the time slot that I used to have so much time with them, because it's time for me to walk in my greatness. So small thinkers, if you decide to start reading books that's going to empower you, open yourself up to other people and visualizers. Now, when you start doing all of these different things, it will create your own business. In other words, you will have a life. You will have a life again. You will have business. You will have personal business. So when people start asking questions, what are you doing? And they realize, well, now I need to be careful how I speak to you, because you're walking in the level of greatness. And some people, if they're not careful, you have to kind of look at what they're saying about you to see if you still want to be in any affiliations of that, because they may start saying, now you treating me different. Well, I didn't treat anybody different. I'm treating me different, so I can be able to treat you greatly. Okay? And I don't make any apologies for that. All right? Your family members are some of the main people that will call you, CALL, call you all kind of other things, because they don't know what else to say to you, because they didn't make any time to jump and join your new venture and join your new journey. Now, here's the other part of it. Some people, they can't join you right away because you're still trying to learn yourself. So be okay with not inviting people in the meetings, in your processes, in your meditation time, when you take your vacations, to vacate away from them so you can rejuvenate yourself, so you can get yourself back in power. This is why small little getaways, 2-day at a hotel, eating lunch, dinner, and breakfast meetings with other people that you never have time for, is so enriching, because it will enrich you to say, okay, I got to go back to this place called regularity at the house where I live, the job where I work at, the business that I have formed, or the business that I partner to. And some people hate when you've moved on away from them. Very selfish. Very, very selfish. So ladies and gentlemen, please share this with other people right now. Let them know that, hey, all the apologies that we give people, it's not necessary. We don't even owe these apologies to people who can't celebrate the greatness that we finally got the courage to walk in. It takes a lot to walk into a great level of confidence in places that we've never been before. It takes a lot to be able to say, hey, I got these gifts and these talents. I don't even know what I'm even doing with this stuff. It's only because I fell in love with books. And some of us apologize for being smart. Come on. Some of us apologize for being wise. Because you say, hey, I seen what it has done to other people. I seen the free lessons with this relationship. I don't want to be a part of that. So I don't make apologies for being single for a long time. I know I know I'm in the house at this point. I don't make apologies. I make apologies for taking my time on this time around because I had a judgment in error. Now let me get a little transparent with this because I'm kind of known for kind of getting transparent with it without saying people's names, and all this other type of stuff, and pointing out events and dates because that's when I get into trouble. And I'm not even on here for that. I'm only here because I felt like I had a thought that hits me before the weekend, before people usually kind of go into their personal lives and things like that. And that could be a blessing to help us to be like, hey, I'm not the only one. No, you're not the only one who's like, why do I feel the pressure to apologize because I made an executive decision for me? Because I wish to take my money and to put it in 4 or 5 different accounts and tell them to take $25 out of it. So then it can build up over the year because I don't want to spend out and eat out every time. I don't want to always buy a dress and order online because it's the next trending thing. First of all, if you still buy a whole bunch of clothes that you know that you can't wear and you don't even go out anyway, you're wasting money. You're just collecting a new wardrobe just to have your closet fixed. I just love shoes. I just love purse. I just love nice trendy bags, or for a lot of us men, I just love new ties. I just love new shoes to go wear. Now, if you're dressing for success because you are collecting things and you have reestablished because you've given clothes away, I'm not talking to you, okay? Because I'm even going through that. I'm like, okay, what do I have to be prepared? But even that, you don't even make apologies for even that, ladies and gentlemen. You don't make apologies for your plan of action. You don't make apologies for a vision board. You don't make any apologies for being the best you've ever seen. There's a place in every last one of us that we're going through a place of evolution. We're evolving, ladies and gentlemen, to new different people that we've never seen. So that's going to cause for us to do some stuff that we've never thought we have to do. It's going to cause for us to travel or to not travel. Some of us, we've traveled so much, we don't even understand how to take a break. Just to sit down, just say, I don't even know what quiet means because I'm so used to jet fuel and car transports and rental cars and checking into hotels and staying with people and finding an air mattress and booking an Airbnb. Beautiful. Sounds great. You can make a great collage. Now you can teach about it. But when it comes to relaxation, what is that? And I'm talking from a place because I know how it feels to work so much, you guys. Working pretty much all my gifts and talents. And I struggle when it comes to watching a simple television show. And I had to say, wait a minute, let me stop doing that. And I had to just bless myself. And with that, I had people that were like, hey, you feel like hanging out? Because the old me had a life of being so much of that person. When it was time to relax, I said, no, I spent 5-6 hours just watching television. And I had to tell myself, which is the last point I'm going to make, don't even apologize to yourself. I know that's hard. That's some real deep self-care. Hey, let me not apologize to myself for giving myself some television time. Spending some time on going on a couple of dates with people that I blew off because I was fear of having a bad relationship or fear of failure. And the reality is, how are you going to learn yourself if you don't give yourself some faith, give yourself some grace, grace yourself with giving yourself some chances? And so you can't even apologize for that. Just say, hey, I forgive me. And once you do that, don't keep doing the same things. Oh my God, move on from that place. All right. I had to make some personal executive decisions for me that put me into a place of healthiness, put me in a place in the presence of God that allowed me to even understand it. And even when you tell people that, they want to turn you off because they're deciding not to believe you. You can't even apologize for that. You can't even care for that or own their reaction for your action. Okay? So a lot of us, come on. A lot of us, and I'll tell you this last little point here is because this is definitely a loaded subject. A lot of us will make statements, we'll make a stance, and when the room sounds real quiet, it's only because you've said something that went against either somebody else's expectation on you or it went against your old ways. Don't even worry about that. But don't feel the need to apologize for something that you said. Because this is what we do. Hey, did I say something wrong that makes you feel uncomfortable? Stop doing that. Hey, did I say something that you didn't like to hear? Stop saying that. Okay? Because we don't know what their reaction is. What if the person going, that's the best thing you could have told me? And the reason why I got quiet is because you said something that I'm guilty for. And guess what? I owe you an apology. Please don't apologize for being bold when you had a lot of cowardice moments. Please don't apologize because you decided to be different. Because now I have somebody to look after. I have a modelization that's forming now because I was going to go to the outside people, but it was right here who I live with. It is in my spouse. Oh my God. So when the Bible says, be existent, be ye transformed, is in the book of Romans in the Bible. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's it, Dr. Blaché. And by the renewing of your mind. Now, every time you're renewing your mind, you're going to have different processes. You're going to have a different appetite. And we have to take time with that. That's another stage. Write them down. Hey, I realized that I don't want to eat as much as I used to eat like that. I don't want to drink as much as I used to drink like that. In fact, I don't want to drink no alcohol for the rest of the year. I think I just want to do all vegan. I don't think I want any meat. And for others that are around you, you may disturb them. When it goes, I cook all this food and all this. Well, did you ask me? What would I have an appetite for? Because things change every day. And that's the whole thing as I conclude this. People do not allow you to change for the better. They don't allow you to change for the betterment, to be a better person. They want you to be the same. But here's the deal. They want you to be patient and understanding and loving and supportive when it's their turn. All right? So please do not apologize for your changes. Do not apologize for all the different nuances that you are swimming through. Do not apologize for your breath, the breath of fresh air that you're inhaling. Please, that guilt feeling, well, you shouldn't have did me like that. And just say, hey, I didn't realize that my new decision made you feel uncomfortable. But guess what it did for me? It's giving me some comfort. I'm so proud of myself. And I make no apologies about how it took me a long time to get to this place. Some of us have been put into positions that has allowed us to be right in this little seat that we're in right now. This is the most valuable space that we've ever been able to sit down and look in the mirror and look at the things that we've been wanting to straighten out, correct, not run from, and give ourselves self-negligence, not giving ourselves due diligence. We have not been doing that. And that's when we just do a lot of neglecting. So by the time we take ourselves and present ourselves to a person, a man, a person, or a couple, a family, a company, a new organization, a job, this is what we give in them. All of those things that I've just forementioned. All right. So I love you guys. I can't be on here a long time. I don't want to be long-winded on anything, but I just want to make sure that it's just a drop nugget, a Thursday thought. Do not feel the need to give your rights to people and feel like that all of the apologies are necessary for you to act on. Remember, an apology is something that you have to say, hey, can you forgive me for something that I did wrong or I was at fault of? But the word, hey, I apologize, that is not an apology. All right? Correct people. Say, hey, I'm still waiting on the apology. Hey, I told you that I apologize. No, you gave me a word. You gave me a word that you apologize. But I didn't hear the apology. The apology is, hey, I felt like I disturbed your rest, and I didn't mean to call you in the morning. I'm sorry for doing that because I didn't consider your rest, okay? And I had to consider it because I love you. When you love people, you consider. You don't think about you all of the time. You're always with yourself, but it takes a lot to consider somebody else. But when you are considering you on the flip end, don't feel the need because you in self-motivation, self-momentum, self-care, self-worth, and dealing with your self-esteem, all right, that builds self-confidence, your love. I'm talking as a behavior analyst right now. I'm talking from a behavior assessment point of view because, you guys know that I love those different areas if you've been following me. But share with other people Please follow me, www.drcortezdsims.com. Follow me on Facebook. There are a lot of Thirsty Thought videos. I would love for you to share with anybody that you know. Be a blessing to them. Let them be able to hear from another person's perspective. I pray that these different tips help you if they've been helping myself. All right. I don't share things that I'm not applying or make applicable to myself. So I love you guys. Take care, take charge, and have a wonderful, beautiful Easter weekend. If you are a believer of that aspect, if not, thank you for the respect that you give respect to regarding that. And just be careful out there, all right? But be sure, everything like that, don't even worry about it. I love you. Take care.